Call to order the meeting of the Mayor and Board of Aldermen for Tuesday, May 5th. And we are going to start tonight with some very special guests. So I would like to welcome the 25-26 Eagle Scout class. We'll let you all come on up.
Forward, march. Please rise and join me in the pledge of
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I want to recognize from Troop 144, Semanju Misra, Luke Farr, and Jacob Zurang. And from Troop 45, Mac Cole. Congratulations, young men. That is a wonderful accomplishment, and we are really proud of you.
Face. Forward, march.
All right, first on our agenda tonight is to adopt the agenda, and I have quite a few changes, so bear with me. Adding to the consent agenda at 3A3, request permission to declare equipment from the city shop, general government department surplus and authorize its disposal. At 3D14, request permission to approve the promotion of one employee from the financial administration department. At 3D15, to request permission to hire one part-time employee for the financial administration department. To your regular agenda, if you will add under Development Services Planning Department at 7C, to request approval for case 3240, plat amendment for lots GHIJKL, Tallahatchie Oxford Baptist Association, First Amendment, requested by Charter Hospitality LLC, Chan Patel, for property located at 130 Slack Road, PPIN 9203. Also on your regular agenda, if you'll add under special projects at 8D, request permission to advertise for roof renovation of the Oxford Activity Center. And if you will remove from your agenda at on the consent agenda at 3D4, request permission to hire one employee from the Development Service Department. And we will update the last item on our agenda and change adjourn to recess for our special meeting with Oxford Utilities that will be on Thursday, May 7th at 3 p.m. to review their budget for the next year. So with all of those changes, do I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
So moved.
All in favor? Any opposed? A quick mayor's report tonight. We are getting ready for graduation weekend, which will be an amazing weekend. In typical MDOT fashion, they mowed 6 and 7 yesterday without picking up litter, so it looks like somebody's thrown confetti for graduation. We've had people working on it all day long, and we'll continue on that in hopes of Oxford looking its very best, even with our pitiful little trees and all. So we will be getting ready for those crowds this weekend. Double Decker was a huge success, and in the coming days, you'll see a press release announcing the crowd size. And I'm excited to say that the crowd size that was in Oxford was larger than 2 of our home football games last year. So it was a huge success, and thank you to every city department that made that happen, because it takes all of us. We continue to do debris removal. As many of you see, we are about finished with our contracted labor that is picking up large trees. So from this point forward, community members that have large trees cut down will have to do as they did prior to the storm. The policy is that if you have the tree cut down, you have to also have the company remove it. And that's simply because we just don't have trucks that are big enough to be able to pick up huge trees without, turning over. So thank you for working with us on that. We're a little bit behind on rubbish pickup, as you can imagine, and we are about to enter the season of people moving out of apartments. And, as you all know that have been here for move out time, and they put everything they own on the curb and drive away, I think. So just know that we are on top of it and we'll get to it. It just may take us a minute, but we will get there. All right, so next on our agenda is request permission to approve the minutes of the regular Board of Aldermen meeting on April 21st.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Request permission to approve the minutes of the special Board of Aldermen meeting on April 29th.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Request approval of the accounts for all city departments.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Request approval of emergency purchases made as a result of Winter Storm Fern that occurred January 23rd through the 26th. Rhonda?
Yes, this is the recurring, as we're still under the disaster. We have to approve this each month for any emergency expenses related to Winter Storm Fern.
All right, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Rhonda, give us a March 2026 budget report.
Sure, and you have a full report in your packet. I'm going to highlight a couple of things, and I'm going to talk specifically about Winter Storm Fern and where we are from a reimbursement standpoint and expense standpoint. Per your packet, our core operating revenues are tracking appropriately for this point in the fiscal year. Sales tax collections are strong. Even though our January numbers were down, we're still up overall 10% year over year. Property tax revenues are within normal collection patterns. On the expense side, personnel costs are tracking appropriately with the budget. Most departments are at 50% or below, so everyone's doing a good job of managing expenses. I do want to talk specifically about Winter Storm Fern and where we are from a total expense perspective to date and what we have received in reimbursement so far and what's outstanding. Total expenses to date, and with estimated expenses, what we think that we'll have to pay out over the balance of May. Right now, total Winter Storm Fern expenses total right at $15 million. Total reimbursement projects that have been submitted to FEMA for reimbursement as of this time are $8.4 million. That leaves us a balance of about 6.8 to submit to FEMA for reimbursement. Total reimbursements received to date, we've received right at $5 million from FEMA. That is 75% of the projects that have been submitted to FEMA at this point. We did enroll in the State Emergency Funds Loan Program that they released several weeks ago. We did submit 2 projects to that last week. We're anticipating that we will get another $1.3 million in the coming days out of that program. As you all know, we ended up borrowing $10 million. We took a $10 million draw off of our emergency loan, private loan that we took with Trustmark Bank a couple of weeks ago to help offset some of these expenses so we can operate. We still have, out of what's been submitted for reimbursement, we're still due $2.1 million. That represents 25%. 12.5% belongs to the state of Mississippi. The other 12.5% belongs to the city. We do not know when we will see that 12.5% from the state. Our 12.5%, our consultant is working on getting in-kind reimbursement. We'll use our volunteer hours, donations, things of that nature. We'll submit that to FEMA once the project is finished to get those funds back. I know it's a lot of information. I'm happy to answer any questions. Just kind of wanted to update the board on where we were so far as total expenses and what we've received in reimbursements at this point.
Well, and I think it's important for the community to understand and know that we borrowed $10 million so that we could pay our contractors on time, because they were working 7 days a week, 10-hour days, and showing up day after day. And so we paid our bills when they were due. We borrowed $10 million to do so. We were told at every level of state government that once this loan program was in place, that we would be able to borrow that money at zero interest from the state and pay that loan back. The MEMA and legislators wrote the guidelines and eliminated that from the grant process. So that we are unable to do that. I was in Jackson every week throughout the session, and we were told that the funds would be on a first come, first served basis. And MEMA told the state that it appeared that there was about $300 million in storm expenses. And the legislature instead funded the program at $125 million, and then prorated it. So the most that Oxford can apply for is $5.6 million through the state loan program, and we're at $15 million of expenses. So it's a very frustrating place to be in, and we continue to tell our story at the state level. And, pardon me?
At 12%?
We borrowed, do what?
At the state level, it'd be 12%, right?
No, they
No,
changed
the
that.
state is zero interest.
Yeah.
I mean, so the 5.6 that we would get from them, it would be zero interest, but then we're left to determine, do we want to pay our Oxford Utilities Fund back that we borrowed money from to, that we were told we would get that money back and could repay that fund. Now we can't. Do we pay that back so that we don't get behind on water and sewer projects, or do we use that 5.6 to go towards the $10 million loan? At $20 million, I mean, at $10 million, our loan is costing us $40,000 a month in interest.
Yes.
So if we used the $5 million that we hope to get from the state loan program, we would still be paying $20,000 a month in interest, and no interest is reimbursable. So here I am, the wet blanket, just to share all the good news tonight. But that's where we are, and we're just going to keep on trucking.
That's right.
It's what we do. Thank you. All right, request permission to declare equipment from the Building and Grounds Landscape Services Department surplus and authorize its disposal. Did I miss something? Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, okay. Consider the consent agenda. We'll consider that along with the other things and the 4-3 additions that we made earlier.
Motion to consider the consent agenda as amended.
All in favor? Any opposed? Sorry, after that talk, my blood pressure's through the roof. Okay, regular agenda. Presentation from the U.S. Small Business Administration regarding the federal disaster loan program for the city of Oxford. Julie Garrett, come on up.
Hello, good evening. I'm here because of your pathetic trees, as you were saying. But basically, when FEMA was activated, the disaster loan program was activated as well. And it's very confusing to folks because the U.S. Small Business Administration administers that program. So people think it just helps small businesses. But we actually help homeowners, renters, nonprofit organizations like churches and food banks, and businesses of all sizes that have uncompensated losses from the storm. So it was at the end of January, and tree work is really expensive. People probably, a lot of them have gotten their insurance settlements, et cetera. So let's say the settlement came and there's just not enough to make the repairs and to fully get back to where they were before the storm. These loans can really help. If somebody put their expenses on a high interest credit card or had to withdraw money from their 401k or their savings, and now they don't have enough cash, they can use the loans to repay themselves or to pay off the disaster damages on their credit card. So there's 3 types of loans. There's physical disaster loans, and that interest rate for homeowners is as low as 2.85%. For businesses, it's as low as 4%, and for nonprofits, it's 3.625%. All of these loans do not require any payments for the first year, and there's no interest for the first year. So that really gives people a chance to make those repairs and deal with things without having to worry about starting to make that payment, as I'm sure you can appreciate.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Do you want to give us a loan?
you know, your emergency manager asked me about that. He asked me, he's like, do you loan
we're
to
asking
municipalities? I wish we did. I really do.
I'm kidding.
I do. You can apply online at sba.gov/disaster. You can call our 800 number for help, 800-659-2955. But we also have 2 centers open right here in Lafayette County. They're both here in Oxford. One is at the Lafayette County Multipurpose Arena, and the other is at the old driver's license building off of 7. I heard you guys know what that means.
We do.
Okay. Okay, and they're open weekdays and Saturdays. I can give you the specific hours if you want, but you can go there and get in-person help. So if you're somebody who just likes to sit across from someone and ask questions, or you don't like working on the computer, we have folks there that can help you. Now, today in Bolivar County, somebody went online and they defrauded people for $150 to help them apply for disaster loans. That's not happening here, luckily, but I want you to be aware that an SBA person will never ask you for money to help you with their application, and we will all have on these very official government IDs, and we have a .gov email address. So just want your people to be aware of that and not get taken advantage of. So last week, the center's open. They had a soft opening on Monday and a hard opening Tuesday. So Tuesday through Friday, we had 68 different households come in for help with their loan application. So far, as of last Friday, we had approved almost $3 million of loans in Mississippi. That's not specific to this county, that's declaration-wide. But I just want you to know we're moving along, and we really want to help you, and we really want to help your businesses get back their economic losses and have working capital to keep going. We want people to be able to get their debris removed. Whatever the issue is, we really, really want to help, and we're there, and we're here, and we're online, and you can contact us anytime. Thank you.
Well, and I think it's important for people to understand what Julie started with. It is the Small Business Administration, but it is helping individuals. And I think a lot of people see Small Business Administration and think, oh, that doesn't apply to me. But we do hope that our residents will come and sit down with folks and figure out how they can be helped. And we thank you for being here.
And I forgot something. We also help renters. So up to $100,000 for renters for personal property and homeowners.
Interesting.
Or if your
Okay.
car got a limb on it or a tree on it and you had to buy a new car and your car loan's at a high interest rate, you can use our disaster loan to pay that back. Okay.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. All right, the long-awaited resolution consideration authorizing the donation of surplus city property of Cedar Oaks. Paul?
You all will recall that back in the fall, we had conversations about the conditions under which the city could donate the house back to the Guild. The major holdup was there had been a change in the corporate structure from the original entity that we knew as the Guild that gave the house to the city back in 2010, 2011, and we could not give it back unless we confirmed that they were a nonprofit and that they had tax exempt status from the feds. They got that letter within the last week and a half, confirming that the nonprofit status applies to the new organization. You have in front of you a resolution that declares the house and the immediately surrounding property surplus, authorizes the mayor and staff to do what we need to do to go ahead and start that conveyance. A couple of notes: we're required by law to keep a reverter clause on the house so that if it is no longer used for the purpose for which it is being donated for a period of 2 years, it reverts back to the city. My view is that the purpose for which it is being donated is fairly broad. I think everybody is of the understanding that the Guild is going to use it for historical purposes, for preservation purposes, and that may be whatever they think is consistent with that mission. So we're not putting that in there as a hook back. We're putting that in there because we are required by law to do that. We're also required by law to preserve mineral rights and the ability to go in and remove minerals. I don't have any reason to think that there are any valuable minerals on the grounds of Cedar Oaks, but that's in there just in case. Do want to point out that this does not include the area that the city originally took in from the Guild back in 2010 for the purpose of improving it for outdoor recreational uses. That green space and outdoor park area is staying with the city. We have to keep it with the city because under the LWCF grant program that we have dedicated it to the public, we have to maintain that in perpetuity. So this is, I don't remember how many original lots in that subdivision were part of the original conveyance. This is 3 lots on which the house sits and the immediately surrounding area, which is the same area when y'all looked at potentially putting it up for sale a couple of years ago. That's the same area that we were looking at, so we're using the same description there.
All right. Are there questions from anyone? Any Cedar Oaks members have a question or a comment? Okay. All right, then we will need a motion to authorize the donation of surplus city property through this resolution.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Great. Request permission to sign contract with GIS for GIS services for staff. Hollis?
Yes, this is as needed for Leslie Rakestraw. He spends a great deal of time doing addressing, and there's other projects that we'd like for him to do, mapping of water, sewer, different things. And this will free up his time to be able to do that.
So moved.
All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you. Announce the winner of the award for first place affiliate award, population under 40,000 with Keep Mississippi Beautiful, Raina Matthews.
And this is my beautiful young coworker that's bringing home all the awards.
Hi, my name is Raina Matthews. I'm the Environmental Coordinator for Environmental Services. I also am the Executive Director for Keep Oxford Lafayette County Beautiful. And last Thursday, I accepted an award from Keep Mississippi Beautiful for a composting project that I hosted with the Oxford Community Garden. I developed the project with them because they had been wanting to do some composting work. So I was able to obtain a grant and help them successfully compost in the garden. And I won an award for it last week.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
And her husband is Nick Matthews, and he also helped build the, it's okay, Raina.
It's a team effort.
Yeah.
Team effort.
But he helped, and it's a beautiful project. So
Yes,
I'm very
thank
proud
you
of
so
her.
much, Raina, for that work. All right. Request permission for the mayor to sign a memorandum of understanding between the city of Oxford and the North Mississippi Regional Center.
Yes, ma'am. This is an agreement that we've had in the past. We've kind of went with Communicare, and now they've got some clients that they would like to work a few hours a week. And we've been doing this. I've been with the city 24 and a half years, and we've had that partnership that long. So I think that it's a great
Absolutely.
opportunity for us to work with them.
Move we approve.
All in favor? Any opposed? Request permission for the mayor to sign a demo agreement with New Way.
Okay, New Way is one of the garbage truck bodies that we use for front end loaders, our baby garbage truck, and our side automated. And they are putting out a new product, and they just really want to put our drivers in it and get their feedback before they put it into production.
Move we approve.
All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you. Request permission to approve and authorize the mayor to sign the SRO agreement with the Oxford School District for the 26-27 school year. Chief?
Yes, ma'am. So it's the same contract we did last year, but we did, at the request of the school, make one adjustment. They had in last year's agreement under the lead SRO, it said the school safety coordinator. Well, they have filled that position as a full-time spot, so we just deleted that language. Everything else is the same.
All right.
Motion to approve.
All in favor? Any opposed? Request permission to approve a parade assembly permit for Visit Oxford to host the End of All Music event on June 12th from 5:30 to 7:30.
Yes, ma'am. It's another event we've done before. No issues on our end.
So moved.
All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you,
Thank you.
Chief. Request permission to approve and authorize the mayor to sign a letter of agreement with the International Code Council to teach the 2024 Fire and Smoke Protection class at the Oxford Conference Center at a cost of $2,310. That makes it sound like I'm going to teach the class. You'll be glad to know I'm not. Mizell will be teaching the class on fire and smoke protection.
Thank you, Mayor. Before you use a contract with ICC for them to come to town to teach a free class to our building community and our fellow building inspectors on firewalls, which has been a requested class. I would note we hosted 5 of these training classes last year when we did the code adoption.
And they have building officials from surrounding towns that come and local builders, and it's a great service that they're doing to the community while we get our folks through the program as well.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jonathan. Second reading and public hearing on a zoning map amendment request, case 3341 by Capstone Development, Mac Monty, to amend the Lamar T&D regulating plan for property located on Main Street, PPIN 41103.
All right, so this is the change to the regulating plan for the Lamar T&D updates because of what has already been built to reflect that, and some changes to increase the civic use in single-family attached detached areas. We have, to my knowledge, not received any comments one way or the other on this, but glad to answer your questions, but it's a second reading, so it's a public hearing.
All right, does anybody from the board have a question? All right, this is a public hearing and this zoning map amendment. Is there anyone here in the audience that would like to speak on this issue? All right, seeing none, does the board wish to vote tonight or to have a third reading?
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Appeal of the Planning Commission's denial of case 3343, special exception as provided in section 3512, districts permitted, detached dwellings by Andy Calicut for property located at 110 Crossview Drive, PPIN 18837. James?
Afternoon, y'all. The appeal of the aforementioned special exception, which would allow greater than 25% 4-bedroom attached units and development of greater than 5 units in neighborhood residential zoning district, is being heard at the request of the applicant, Andy Calicut. The hearing for this request was held at the regular meeting of the Planning Commission on Monday, April 13th, as case 3343. After discussion, a motion to approve the request was made, seconded, and it failed on a 2-3 vote. On April 20th, 2026, staff received a request to appeal the denial of the special exception from Joey Moore of JAM Engineering on the applicant's behalf. Joey Moore is also present. Both that appeal letter and a copy of staff's report from the April Planning Commission are included as part of your packet. This case bears significant similarities with the special exception request for this property to exceed the allowable mix of 4-bedroom units, which was made in March of 2024. That was likewise considered and denied by the Planning Commission as case 30858. That case was also appealed to this body. There was a consideration, a motion made. That motion died for lack of a second at that time. So the subject property, this is the Bella Vita development. It's located between Harlan Drive and Oxford Way. It's to the west of South Lamar. It's about 12.25 acres. The applicant was most recently approved for residential development of 93 units. That's 68 attached units and 25 detached units. As of the most recent site plan amendment approved, which was in May of 2025, 17 of the attached units, or 18% of the overall development, contained 4 bedrooms. Greater than 25% 4-bedroom units in neighborhood residential requires a special exception. The applicant returned at the Planning Commission to request 25 additional 4-bedroom units. That would equate to roughly 45% of the overall development, in order to facilitate an amendment to the site plan, which is under review by staff. The City Land Development Code laid out that the Planning Commission was empowered to grant special exceptions based on a finding that doing so would not adversely affect the public interest, or to deny a request would determine not to be in public interest. The applicant reasoned in their initial application that there is and will be a need for more housing opportunities in Oxford, and that to maximize the number of bedrooms will be beneficial to the growth pressures that the city is currently facing. The initial approval of the development, like I said earlier, followed denial for a special exception of a similar nature, following concerns from neighboring residents concerning surrounding traffic and additional density at this location. Staff understood at the time the applicant's desires, but did not support the request when it went to the Planning Commission. We have 4 conditions listed in that original memorandum for your consideration if you choose to approve this request. At the Planning Commission, There was discussion. Commissioner Yolanda Logan moved to approve the requested special exception with the 4 staff conditions. That motion was seconded by Commissioner David Spraggins. That motion failed by a vote of 2-3 with Commissioners Murphy, Latimer, and Brassfield voting nay. Happy to answer any questions. And like I said, Joey Moore is here to represent the applicant if you have any for him.
All right. Does anyone on the board have a question before we let Joey speak?
So what is if you're going from 17% 4-bedroom to, you're saying 45% 4-bedroom, what is the overall density increase? What's the 8.8% more beds? So that sounds like a big jump when you go from 17 to 45. So what is but when you're saying it's 8.8 overall?
You can come up, Joey.
So what is the actual, how many total numbers per bedroom?
The total.
Where are we at now? What are you asking?
The total beds now would be 296. The ask is for 321. And something to note that we've looked at is that we don't really need permission. There might be some guidelines in there to build strictly 3 bedrooms. So that piece of property is zoned for 9 per acre. So doing that math, you could build basically 111 units instead of the 93, all 3 bedroom. And you could get 334 beds. And with this ask, we are asking for 321. So we're still under the maximum number of beds that we could ask if we came back with nothing but 3-bedroom units on the site. So something else to know is that James had it right. I'm not saying he didn't. We're not asking for, I guess, 25 more additional units. The 25 3-bedroom detached that are 3-bedroom now, we're asking for those to be 4-bedroom. So 25 more beds is what we're asking for on the site. And we have redesigned the detached units to where the 4-bedroom fits in the exact same footprint that we have now on the site plan. So there'll be no additional impact, like environmental. We're not going to have to go find another 3 to 4 acres to destroy to get these 25 beds. We're fitting them in this location. Something else to note, really the only question we got from the Planning Commission is how does this differ from the original request? We have added another access road to this property since that original request to the west that will feed out to the new belt connector through the reserve and reserve 1 and 2. So that's really the big difference. You know, we even offered to close the access to Harlan if that's the issue, is that the people of Harlan don't want additional units, bedrooms over there. The city said, you know, the people of Harlan would actually like to keep the access open so they can use it to come through Oxford Farms. So we don't have a problem with that. It's one way now. So as far as we can see is that there's not going to be any additional impact to Harlan. All this traffic will go feed through Oxford Farms. We'll actually be able to get 25 more beds through the new connector road, over the belt, over to campus, without having to put that additional traffic on South Lamar somewhere else that doesn't have access to these connector roads.
What about parking?
Parking, we have, the plan works as we have shown on the request.
And as always, the connector road to Harlan was always entrance only anyway.
That's correct. That's correct.
Just a point of clarification, the additional ingress and egress to the west of the site, that does connect to Harlan, and that's not an ingress only. That's 2 ways.
Sure, and
so traffic could go out to the west and go to that new connection, and then down through the existing. So just a point of clarification.
That is correct, and I'm the engineer on that Walker and Walker project as well. If that's something that needs to be considered about making that access point was put in on the additional project because they needed 2 points of access. They no longer actually need that point of access because we have the connection going all the way to the west. They could completely avoid Harlan if desired.
That would be preferred. When you say go out to the west with the other project, not this one, go out to the west on the belt connector road that's coming.
It's going to be built. It's going to be built.
Coming. It's going to be built one way or the other.
That's right.
Okay.
Any other questions?
If there are no other questions, then to move forward, we would need a motion to overturn the denial of the Planning Commission's case 3343.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right,
Thank you.
All right, request approval for case 3240, plat amendment for lots GHI-JKL, Tallahatchie, Oxford, Missionary Baptist, First Amendment, requested by Charter Hospitality LLC, Chan Patel, for property located at 130 Slack Road, PPIN 9203.
Yes, so this is around 0.783 acre property consisting of lots G, H, I, J, K, and L in the existing Tallahatchie Oxford Baptist Association subdivision, which is between Slack Road and University Avenue. The applicant seeks to amend the plat to combine these lots into a new singular Lot J. The new lot would be consistent with the underlying T and B zoning. At the March 13th Planning Commission meeting, the commission unanimously recommended approval of the request with 2 conditions, and staff is recommending the same today.
Any questions for? This was in addition to
combining
the
lots.
agenda, so it's just combining.
We're just combining
So
lots. Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Consider change order number 6 from Century Construction for flooring and stair repair. Mark?
Yes, ma'am. This is an owner requested change order to repair and finish the steps, the basement
Owner
lot.
being us.
Okay, I was like, wait.
I'm sorry?
You said an owner requested. I said the owner being us.
Oh, yeah. We requested this. For the basement lobby and to add some lights in the stairwell and to do some scrapes and paint in the basement. The stairwell is one of the last few areas in the entire building that hadn't been touched since 1973. It's like when you renovate your house, you start to notice everything. So we thought while the contractor are here, it would make sense to have the subs who are familiar with the building to go ahead and redo those steps and add a few lights.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Request permission to authorize contract with RKA Construction for the renovation of the Development Services Annex building.
Yeah, so y'all approved this at the last meeting, lowest and best bidders, RKA. It's just to authorize the contract, the same price we agreed on last meeting.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Consider request for proposals for new multi-space parking meters. Mark?
So this is an ongoing project. We're trying to upgrade our existing single space meters. We bid this project over the winter and we came back with our bids over budget. So we reassessed the method of procurement and we re-advertised as an RFP. We needed more flexibility and allow more vendors to be creative about what they were offering. We did receive 4 proposals. They were all qualified parking service providers. We had a selection committee that met and we ranked those proposals. We were recommending IPS to provide the new multi-space meters. Our plan is to replace all the 300 single space meters with 30 of the kiosk style multi-space to cover the whole downtown parking system. In addition to that, we're gonna have 12 off-street kiosks to upgrade those kiosks. So that is what we are working on. So tonight we're just trying to get permission to accept the proposal, and then we're gonna work on a contract that makes sense, and we'll have more information at a future meeting.
So moved.
Second. All in favor? Any opposed? Request permission to advertise for roof renovations at the Oxford Activity Center.
Exactly what it says.
The project that gets kicked down the road every year.
Yeah, just, it's a budget item. Exactly what it says. Just need
So
to-
moved.
All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you. Consider request for a revocable license for driveway construction at 425 Turnberry Court. John?
Yes, ma'am. So a couple of months ago, you approved a revocable license at this same address to construct a sidewalk from the front porch out to the street. This property fronts Turnberry Court, but there's a small triangular piece of city property that attaches to Pat Lamar Park between the street right-of-way and her front porch. The owner has come back requesting, in lieu of a sidewalk, they want to construct a circular drive at this location, which would be on city property. They understand that a revocable license means we could come back at any time and tear out said circular driveway. They wish to proceed with this request anyway.
So the sidewalk's out?
The sidewalk would be out. It would be a circular drive. I would also state that if you choose to approve this, we're going to require them to remove one of their curb cuts existing on the west side of their house, where there is an existing circular drive.
Looking at the photograph, what trees have to be taken out that are on city property?
They will not have to remove any more trees to build the
ice storm
circular
did it for
drive. What they have not already, the debris guys have already got everything that they will take out, yeah.
Is there a motion, or does this?
Make a motion we approve.
Second. All in favor? Any opposed? Consider the request for extended work hours for the Finn development at Landis Road and Old Taylor Road. John?
The Finn, they are in full-blown dirt moving operations, and they have requested to be able to work sun up to sundown, which during the summer months will be beyond our normal working hours, which are from 6:30 to 7 p.m. They want to be moving before the sun comes up and stop after the sun goes down.
I'll comment on this because I taught Landis Road. There's not a single person on Landis Road that is agreeing to this. Landis Road is not very heavily populated, but they've already got problems with construction traffic as it is with the configuration of stop signs and allowing construction traffic to come through. And I ask everybody on the road, that's how little populated it is. It's probably about 8 totals.
At most, yeah.
And,
They're for their families too.
yeah.
And what was their reason they wanted to extend the hours?
They have a deadline to have some of their units occupied, and they feel like they need that extra time to get done by said deadline.
Kind of with Brian on this.
I'm just the messenger.
That's still 13 and a half or 12 and a half hours a day they can be moving.
Mhm.
Dirt.
I don't.
All right, if there is not a motion to allow that, then we'll move along. Request permission to approve change order number 1 for the storm drain improvements project at Fillmore Avenue, South 11th and Lincoln. John?
Yeah, so this is the project that just will not go away. But when we got started, we discovered very old concrete pavement underneath the existing asphalt pavement. And it was very solid. In the 1920s and 10s, they poured concrete like nobody's business. So they had to bring in a heavy piece of equipment and bust all that up and haul it out. So this change order covers that. It's an addition of $16,850 to the project.
That's currently, right? Meaning it's an estimate of what they have to do. They don't even know what's on Lincoln yet, do they?
Correctamundo.
Because they haven't even been there.
They have not been there.
Just saying.
So there's more good news to come, is what you're telling us.
Yes, ma'am.
The fun keeps coming.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, what are we going to do? Tell them to go put it back? I have a motion to approve.
I'll make the motion to approve if it gets them done. Just get done.
Is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Request permission to approve change order number 1 and payment application number 8 for the North Lamar Molly Bar Roundabout project.
Yes, ma'am. Project is done. This is just sort of a final quantity change order, which actually decreases the project amount by almost $10,000.
We'll take it. Is there a second? Second. All in favor? Any opposed? Request permission to approve task order number 18 for the general services agreement with Wagner Engineering. John?
Yeah, so Wagner Engineering simply handles general administration, government issues for us, and this is just, we have a general services agreement with them, and so every now and then we just get them to issue us a new task order when we want them to do something, so that's what this is.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Request permission to accept the low bid for the Old Taylor Road Water Distribution Improvements Project and award the contract to MC Construction. John?
So this upsizes our water main from Chucky Mullins down to Landis Road, ironically to feed the Finn development. The Finn development is fronting the cost for this project. So this will not, the city is overseeing the project, managing the project through our engineer, David Daniels, but the money, the Finn is putting that up. So what you're doing tonight is simply accepting the low bid. Before we come back to you and execute a contract, we'll have you approve an escrow agreement with the Finn ownership group before we execute contracts. So tonight's just the low bid.
Move we approve.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? I'd ask the board to consider an executive session.
So moved.
All in favor? Any opposed? The board will now